Big budgets are not always a guarantee of a great game. True masterpieces are often made by those motivated by passion and vision, not by millions of dollars. Games from small studios often stay in the shadow of big AAA releases, but they definitely deserve attention. And today, we're diving into games that prove money isn't everything, proving that passion beats big budgets every time. In the high fantasy realm of Vampyr, you become Orin, one of the last elite Valorian knights, tasked with stopping your brother Macros from ascending to godhood and triggering the planet's ruin. Your journey takes you through 3 elemental lands, each woven with its own visual flair and themed foes. Combat is brisk and visceral, built around the tension between nimble strikes and crushing blows. You can block, unleash light and heavy attacks, and even hurl your shield like a boomerang, only to summon it back moments later. Each weapon class, from twin blades and gleaming longswords to polearms, warhammers, and two-handed greatswords, brings its own rhythm and special techniques. Legend-class armors called Valor Plates not only change your look, but reshape abilities and your combat approach. Meanwhile, a socket-filled system of amulets, rings, and augments offers room to specialize. The main campaign spans roughly 10 to 12 hours, depending on your pace. And while the central narrative, a classic fraternal betrayal, can feel predictable and lightly sketched, it acts as a backdrop for what unfolds. After the story campaign ends, expanded modes such as Dreamstones, the Ascended Tower, and the Endgame Grind bring added layers of challenge and rewards. Godfall offers an enthralling blend of spectacle and swordplay, especially when you grow adept at its combat systems. And teaming up with friends can heighten the thrill, turning routine encounters into memorable clashes. In The Wolf Among Us, you step into the torn coat of the infamous Big Bad Wolf, now living as Bigby, in a hidden enclave of fairy tale exiles, tucked within the city's shadows. When a brutal murder shatters the fragile calm, you move through a web of secrets and tension, relying on sharp dialogue and decisive action to navigate fragile alliances. Each word you choose can inspire trust, provoke hostility, or quietly shift the loyalties around you. As you retrace the scene of the crime, you inspect objects, trace worn surfaces, and uncover whispers hidden in dim corners. Conversations flow in real time, forcing you to decide quickly between measured diplomacy or raw intimidation. Familiar stories wear hardened edges, and faces we all remember from childhood tales now bear scars, regrets, and dangerous ambitions. The game is split into episodes, each ending on a powerful cliffhanger, leaving you tense and eager for the next chapter. Its world is harsh, with violence and intrigue underscoring the high stakes of every choice. This story leaves a lasting impression, keeping you on the edge of your seat, right up to the final scene. Set in December 1975, Still Wakes the Deep transports players to the Beira D oil rig, stationed off Scotland's coast. Players assume the role of Cameron Kaz McCleary, an electrician confronting a catastrophic event that unleashes an unfathomable horror from the ocean's depths. This malevolent force begins to warp the rig's structure and distort the minds and bodies of the crew. The game emphasizes survival mechanics, requiring players to navigate the deteriorating rig, evade monstrous entities, and utilize stealth tactics. Without weapons or supernatural abilities, survival hinges on quick thinking and adaptability. The environment's dynamic nature, influenced by severe weather and structural instability, adds layers of tension and unpredictability. In Murdered Soul Suspect, you step into the role of Ronan O'Connor, a detective with a troubled past who is suddenly thrown into the afterlife after being murdered during an encounter with a serial killer known as the Bell Killer. Stuck in a ghostly limbo, Ronan must solve the mystery of his own death before he can move on. The story unfolds in Salem, a city steeped in dark history and supernatural secrets, where every street corner seems to whisper with echoes of the past. Now a spirit, Ronan gains access to abilities that shift the way the world can be explored. He can walk through walls, possess the living, to peek into their thoughts or influence their behavior, and manipulate elements in the environment to uncover clues. These abilities are key in piecing together the puzzle, sneaking past spectral threats, and navigating the blurred line between the living and the dead. The investigation is more than just about Ronan, Along the way, he meets other trapped souls, some of them in need of help, others hiding secrets of their own. A central figure in the story is Joy, a teenager with the rare gift of seeing spirits. Her uneasy alliance with Ronan becomes essential as both uncover layers of a case that is far more twisted than it first appears. While it doesn't rely on fast-paced action, Murdered Soul Suspect leans into mood and mystery, focusing on uncovering the truth in a place where nothing is as it seems. Hi-Fi Rush. Chai is a 25-year-old dreamer who signs up for a cybernetic limb test, hoping it'll help him live out his rockstar fantasies. But something goes wrong. His music player ends up fused into his chest during the procedure, syncing his heartbeat to the rhythm of the world around him. Everything starts pulsing with a beat, doors open in time, robots march in tempo, and even his attacks slam down on the snare. Labeled a defect by the tech megacorp that ran the experiment, Chai doesn't run, he riffs. Armed with a makeshift guitar built from scrap and magnets, he fights his way through corporate campuses that have turned into musical arenas. Alongside him is 808, a floating robot cat with a glowing core, and a group of offbeat allies, each adding their own twist to this chaotic concert of rebellion. They're not just fighting robots, they're exposing a mind control conspiracy hidden in the company's neural implants. The action flows like a living soundtrack. Every hit, dodge, and combo aligns with the rhythm. Not just for style, nailing the beat boosts impact, and syncing with the tempo creates a smooth, almost dance-like momentum. Visual cues keep things intuitive, while the audio hooks help everything feel fluid and reactive. Each area introduces new challenges wrapped in distinct musical vibes, with boss fights that feel like full-blown stage finales, complete with guitar solos, one-liners, and wild visual flair. But between the battles, there's downtime to explore, find hidden upgrades, test out new moves, and uncover secrets tucked into corners of this comic book world. It leans into the absurd without ever losing its charm, striking a balance between lighthearted fun and action-packed spectacle. You awaken in the ruins of a shattered Los Angeles, thrust into the grip of a war where machines have risen to wipe out the last traces of humanity. As Jacob Rivers, a soldier of the resistance marked for termination, you carry both the burden of survival and the weight of decisions that may alter the course of the conflict. The world around you is scarred with the aftermath of nuclear fire, where every step forward draws you deeper into a struggle, with your choices rippling outward and shaping the lives of those who look to you for hope. Your journey is a blend of intense shootouts and careful exploration. You scavenge through devastated neighborhoods, searching for resources and materials that let you craft weapons, devices, and traps. The story unravels through the bonds you form with those around you. Conversations and choices you make regarding them shape their trust and the future they will face alongside you. Every decision you make and every action you take will determine whether the flame of life endures or is extinguished forever. Kenna, Bridge of Spirits is a captivating action-adventure game. It follows Kenna, a young spirit guide who embarks on a journey to discover the truth behind a forgotten village and its mysterious inhabitants. The game combines exploration, puzzle solving, and dynamic combat, with a story that emphasizes the healing and guiding of lost spirits, using Kenna's magical staff and the assistance of small spirit companions called Rot. The game is known for its stunning visuals, which blend fantasy and nature, creating a world that feels both immersive and alive. The environments are lush and detailed, with a distinct art style that reflects both Pixar-like animation and traditional fantasy elements. Players explore mystical forests, mountains, and ancient temples while solving puzzles and defeating powerful enemies. The gameplay also revolves around Kenna's ability to communicate with the Rot, which can be used to manipulate objects, solve environmental puzzles, and aid in combat. As the game progresses, Kenna grows in power, unlocking new abilities and tools, allowing for deeper engagement with the world around her. Call of the Sea. In the 1930s, Nora embarks on a quest across the South Pacific to uncover the fate of her husband's ill-fated expedition. Upon reaching a remote island, she finds herself surrounded by dense jungles, strange natural formations, and the lingering presence of a long-forgotten civilization. The island holds many secrets, waiting to be unraveled. each new discovery brings her closer to understanding what happened while revealing more about her own past. The game blends an immersive narrative with exploration, allowing players to piece together the island's secrets. Every step forward leads Nora down a path of self-discovery, offering a unique and thought-provoking journey through a world full of mystery, wonder, and hidden truths. In Bramble the Mountain King, you embark on a dark and enchanting journey inspired by Nordic folklore. Playing as a young boy named Ole, you must traverse a mysterious and treacherous world to rescue your kidnapped sister from the clutches of terrifying creatures. The game blends atmospheric exploration with riddles to solve and tense encounters against grotesque and haunting foes. Each environment is richly detailed, immersing you in a world where beauty and horror coexist. The creatures you encounter are drawn from Scandinavian myths, each with unique behaviors that require observation and strategy to overcome. A key element is the Spark of Courage, a mystical power that aids in overcoming obstacles and battling monstrous entities. With a haunting soundtrack and deeply emotional storytelling, Bramble the Mountain King delivers an unsettling but captivating experience, blending fairy tale wonder with nightmarish undertones. The Surge. In a world pushed to the brink by environmental collapse and unchecked corporate power, you wake up inside the ruins of a massive tech corporation once promising to save humanity. Something has gone terribly wrong. The halls are overrun with deranged workers and unstable machines, and your only lifeline is the industrial exosuit fused to your body. Every enemy has weak points. Specific limbs can be targeted and severed to collect valuable gear. You're not just fighting to survive, you're scavenging to grow stronger. Weapons and armor are crafted from what you take, and implants let you fine-tune your abilities, from healing boosts to time-slowing reflex upgrades. But every enhancement draws power, forcing careful management of your limited energy core. Exploration is tense and methodical. The complex is a twisted industrial labyrinth filled with remnants of a failed utopia. Story details unfold through cryptic audio logs and scattered survivor encounters, slowly revealing what turned this vision of salvation into a mechanical nightmare. Death isn't the end, but it's costly. Fall in battle, and your collected tech scrap, the fuel for all upgrades, is left behind. You'll have a limited window to fight your way back and recover it, or lose it for good. Blair Witch. Set in 1996, 2 years after the original film's events, the story follows Ellis Lynch, a former police officer and war veteran, as he joins a search party in the Black Hills Forest near Burkittsville, Maryland, to find a missing boy named Peter Shannon. Accompanied by his loyal dog, Ellis navigates the dense forest, confronting his troubled past and the unsettling mysteries of the forest. The gameplay combines survival horror with psychological elements presented from a first-person viewpoint. The bond between Ellis and Bullet influences the narrative's progression, leading to multiple possible endings based on your choices. In Shadow Warrior 3, Lo Wang, after accidentally unleashing an ancient dragon, finds the world crumbling as demonic forces spill into the remains of civilization. Racked with the sense of guilt, he vanishes from the spotlight, until a visit from his old rival pulls him back into the chaos. Their mission takes a sharp turn after crossing paths with a mysterious sorceress and reviving a long-lost companion, only for everything to spiral further out of control. The story doesn't stretch too far, but keeps the pace tight, laced with wild humor and bursts of unexpected sincerity. What really drives it all is the slick, high-speed mix of swordplay and gunfire. Cutting through demonic hordes refills ammo, while blasting them down restores health, creating a rhythmic cycle that rewards aggression and precision. Finishers, earned by building up a special meter, allow for brutal takedowns that rip unique temporary weapons straight out of defeated monsters. Movement is just as vital. Wall running, air dashing, double jumping, and using a grappling hook keeps each combat zone buzzing with vertical chaos. Visually, the game leans into colorful absurdity, neon-soaked landscapes with a twisted sense of style. Strange creatures, blood-slicked arenas, and mystical ruins create a surreal backdrop that manages to feel both grotesque and strangely beautiful. The game concludes within a focused 6 to 8 hours, delivering a steady rush of adrenaline from start to finish. The world has fallen into silence, stalked by ruthless creatures that hunt anything that makes a sound. Set between the chaos of the initial outbreak and the events of the first film, the story follows Alex Taylor, a pregnant college student with asthma, who's forced to navigate a crumbling world alone after the sudden loss of her boyfriend. Stealth takes center stage, with every creak of a floorboard or clatter of debris carrying deadly consequences. Alex's asthma introduces a deeply personal layer to the tension. You'll need to manage her breathing, ration inhalers, and find ways to stay hidden even when panic sets in. From dimly lit hospitals to burned-out towns echoing with danger, the world is a constant reminder of what's been lost. This is a quiet apocalypse, but one that speaks volumes through its atmosphere, its tension, and its desperate fight for something worth holding on to. Vampyr is an action role-playing game. Set in London during the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, you will assume the role of Dr. Jonathan Reed, a renowned sergeant who has been turned into a vampire. As Reed, you will navigate the dark and atmospheric streets of London, torn between the duty to heal the citizens and the insatiable thirst for blood. The game offers a semi-open world environment divided into 4 districts, each teeming with characters who have their own backgrounds and daily routines. You can choose to uphold your Hippocratic oath by treating and healing citizens, which can improve district health and provide valuable information, or give in to your vampiric nature, feeding on citizens to gain strength and unlock various powerful abilities. Combat involves a combination of melee and ranged weapons, as well as supernatural vampire powers, allowing you to confront various enemies, including vampire hunters and other supernatural creatures. The narrative is deeply influenced by player choices, with multiple endings that reflect the moral decisions made throughout the game. Mosaic transports you into the monotonous existence of an unnamed individual residing in a sprawling, impersonal cityscape. Each day mirrors the last, filled with routine tasks, such as commuting through crowded streets to a faceless corporation, where the work is endless and the human connection is scarce. Your primary interaction is through a smartphone, inundated with trivial notifications that offer little respite from the drudgery. One seemingly ordinary day, anomalies begin to disrupt this predictable cycle. On your daily commute, you encounter inexplicable events that challenge your perception of reality. These occurrences serve as a catalyst, prompting a reevaluation of your existence within this vast, indifferent system. The narrative unfolds through subtle interactions and environmental storytelling, encouraging you to piece together the fragments of a larger, more profound story. The gameplay is deliberately paced, reflecting the protagonist's sense of entrapment within the urban sprawl. As you navigate this world, you confront the pervasive sense of isolation and the overwhelming nature of modern life. The minimalist design and ambient soundtrack underscore the themes of alienation and the search for meaning in a world that often feels devoid of both. Mosaic offers a contemplative experience, inviting you to reflect on the nature of existence in a society that often prioritizes efficiency over individuality. It's a journey through the banalities and oddities of daily life, encouraging introspection about one's place within the broader tapestry of urban existence. Thanks for sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. If you'd like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee through Buy Me a Coffee. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.